It is the winter of 1546. The skies above England are pale gray, heavy with the stillness that comes before snow. The once bustling court of Henry VIII has quieted, the sounds of dancing and celebration long gone. Now the corridors echo with careful footsteps and hushed conversations. The smell of beeswax, wet wool, and aging stone fills the cold air. Henry, now in his mid-50s, is no longer the vibrant, commanding figure who once dazzled Europe with his golden armor and athletic grace. Time has softened his voice and slowed his step. His legs, once strong from hunting and jousting, are now wrapped in bandages, plagued by painful ulcers that refuse to heal. In the palace, Henry spends most of his days in his richly adorned bedchamber. The fire crackles gently in the hearth, casting shadows on the heavy tapestries that line the walls. Every piece of fabric, from the velvet curtains to the king's bedspread, carries the scent of lavender and cedarwood. His bed is enormous, carved from oak, with golden lions at each corner. Silk pillows are stacked high, but comfort eludes him. His legs ache constantly, and the wound in his thigh often seeps through his linen wrappings. Servants move carefully around him, careful not to disturb the king, whose mood can change with the wind. He dozes often, stirred by dreams of hunting in Windsor Forest, or riding beside his old friend Charles Brandon. Henry's days are structured, but slow. Each morning his doctors examine his wounds and prescribe treatments that do little more than ease the surface. Poultices of rose oil and powdered pearls, herbal tonics and sugared plums for strength. His meals are still grand in variety, but Henry eats little. Roasted quail, stewed pears, and almond pastries sit untouched. He listens to musicians play soft tunes on lutes and viols. Sometimes he summons his young son Edward to sit beside him. The boy, only 8 years old, is solemn and quiet. Henry watches him with both pride and sorrow. The world Edward will inherit is filled with uncertainty. In the long hours of night, Henry often lies awake, murmuring to himself. Some say he speaks to his wives, Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour. The echoes of his past filled the chamber more than any present comfort. He asks for stories from the Bible to be read aloud, particularly those of King David. He finds solace in the tale of the aging king, burdened by guilt and love alike. The words wash over him like warm rain. Outside, the Thames River flows slowly past the palace walls, as it always has and always will. December comes, and with it Henry's last Christmas. The court prepares a quiet feast. No grand tournaments, no courtly masks, just a modest table with roasted goose, mulled wine, and a few sweetmeats. A choir sings in the chapel, their voices rising like mist into the vaulted ceiling. Henry listens from his chamber, eyes closed, letting the sound carry him to memory, to better years, when Anne of Cleves made him laugh, when Jane Seymour gave him his longed-for son, when he believed he had time. He asks for extra candles to be lit. The soft golden light dances on the wall. In early January, Henry calls for his scribes. His will must be finalized. He names Edward as his heir and appoints a council of trusted men to guide the young king. Though the signatures are formal, there is a heavy silence in the room, the kind that hangs when endings approach. His once bold handwriting is now shaky, but still, he signs with the dignity of a king. The royal seal is pressed gently into warm wax, a symbol of finality. It is the 28th of January, 1547. The night is bitterly cold. Henry has not spoken much all day. His breathing is shallow, and his eyes are often closed. A few loyal courtiers remain close by. They know the end is near. In the quiet hours before dawn, Henry takes his last breath. There is no thunderclap, no great fanfare, only stillness. The kind of peaceful silence that feels ancient, like the turning of pages in a very old book. Outside, frost glitters on the bare branches. The great bells of Westminster will toll soon, but for now there is only peace. His body is taken to Windsor. The procession is solemn, the roads silent, as if nature itself mourns. The coffin, draped in cloth of gold, is carried slowly by horse-drawn carriage. The people of England, some tearful, some curious, line the roads. Church bells tolled softly through mist-covered fields. At St. George's Chapel, Henry is laid to rest beside Jane Seymour, the wife he called his true love. The tomb is simple. There is no grand monument, just stone and silent. And so ends the long, complex tale of Henry VIII. Not with a roar, but with a whisper. A man remembered, not just for his wives and wars, but for his loneliness, his regrets, and the quiet dignity of his final days. As you drift now into sleep, let your mind wander through the halls of a long-lost palace. Let candlelight flicker gently in your dreams. Let history lull you into rest. Sleep well. Good night.